So as promised, after last week's video, I put up another poll asking you guys between two projects what it was that you wanted us to build this week, and it got a response where more people were wanting to see the farmhouse bench being built. So I will post a picture of that, you guys will see it, so you'll know what's going on. So I have a couple of pieces of wood here. We're gonna be using some 1-inch thick rough side wood. I got this at Home Hardware, relatively inexpensive. I think a 4-foot board was around $5. So I got a couple of pieces over here as well. Those are gonna be the sides, and then these are gonna be some additional supports that we have, okay? So I've already pre-measured this, and I just wanna double check my measurement. I believe it is, so it's 40 inches, okay? We don't wanna make this bench too big, only because in the photo, you'll see that it's being supported with some legs that are going this way, and as you can see, these are not super thick, and we don't want anything that's gonna be putting a lot of weight on this. These are gonna give extra supports, but basically what I'm saying is you really don't wanna make an 8-foot bench out of this style. You're gonna have to have additional supports in that bench if you're gonna be going that big, okay? So a typical bench is around 18, 20 inches high. I wouldn't go any higher. But again, like, you measure your space where this is gonna be going, you customize this so that it's gonna fit in your space. This piece right here, as I said, is 40 inches long, and I'm gonna be cutting down these pieces here. So what I wanna do is, I'm gonna take a look at this. I like the knots. I'm a knotty kind of person. I like the knots. I like the character that it shows in the wood. So I'm probably gonna cut from here. This piece of wood here, that's gonna be our top. I wanna make this bench 18 inches high. So this piece of wood here should be 3/4. Actually, it's a little bit more, it's 7/8 of an inch wide. So always measure your wood. Sometimes it could be 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so I've gone ahead, I've cut out these V grooves, which are gonna be the bottom of our feet. I think that they look great. And now I'm gonna go ahead and start sanding everything, because I think it's best that we sand everything before we go ahead and do assembly, and then we can do like a finishing sand once it's all put together. So I'm gonna take my orbital sander, I'm gonna take 150 grit sandpaper, 120, 150, up to you, whatever you have. And I'm gonna go ahead and just start sanding. I'm going to build this, like the last project, I'm going to build this. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put up a poll with some different color options and see what you guys want this to be finished in, okay? I also put up a poll, I also put up a, I guess you could say an auction slash fundraiser with the last build that we did for the farmhouse entranceway organizer, trying to just you know, raise some funds so that we can go and buy some masks and some gloves and get those to some of our local hospitals and workers that are in need of them. So please stay posted for those as well, because once you actually do make a contribution, I can see that, you get entered into a draw, and then you can actually win what it is that we are building here each week, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to start assembly. So I believe in the photo that there's a little bit of overhang. So I'm gonna plan this out. Let's take a look. Yeah, there's a little bit of an overhang. Also, these pieces here I got from Home Depot, and these pieces here I got from Home Hardware. So there's a little bit of a difference in the size. So I'm actually gonna have to trim this down by probably like 1/4 of an inch by the looks of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna set the saw to 1/8 of an inch, and then I'm gonna take 1/8 of an inch off each side, just so that we're still at the center here and we're not taking too much off of one side. Okay, so let's go to the saw and we'll get this cleaned up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set my fence. I wanna take 1/8 of an inch off. So we're gonna start with that measurement. Okay. Ooh. Where's the safety glasses? Safety first. Okay, so we're literally gonna be taking the smallest amount off. Okay. I'm kind of liking the look of this, so I'm probably going to leave that much of an overhang. Let me just grab my measuring tape. Let's go in about 2 inches, okay? So I'm gonna flip this down. I'm gonna go at 2. I'm gonna go at 2. Same over here. I'm gonna go at 2. I'm gonna go at 2. And then I'm just gonna take my trusty old leg and give me a little help. Okay. So I have something to follow. Okay. This side, same thing. Line it up with my measurements. Perfect. That way, I can line this up and I know where I'm going. Okay, so I also want to do the same thing on this side. However, I don't need to be making all the lines, but I do want to be making some screws at like 2.5 might be too much. Let's put it at 2 3/8, okay? So we're gonna make 2 points at 2 3/8. And if you're not sure where that is on a measuring tape, I'm gonna quickly show you. So between an inch, there's these little notches that don't have anything. Those are 16ths. So there are 16 little notches in between each inch. So this little guy right here, this is 1/16. Then half of the 16ths are the 8ths. So 1/8, 3/8, we have 5/8, and we have 7/8. And then in between those, we have the quarters, and then in the center, we have the half. So when I'm saying 3/8 or something like that, that is what I'm referring to. I'm referring to the little 8ths or the little 16ths or something like that, okay? So I've decided 2 3/8. I'm gonna do the same on here, 2 3/8, 2 3/8. Okay? That's where I'm gonna be screwing. So I'm gonna grab my drills and I'll be, okay, so first we're gonna use the countersink. I'm gonna go where I made my marks, okay? And I'm just gonna give myself a little pre-drill. What this is doing is it's making a nice little guide for the screw, and it's also making a nice little pocket for the screw to go into, okay? So I'm gonna flip this bad boy up, and I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that this is on El Lingo right here, okay? I have 1.5 inch screws. I'm gonna take my drill and I'm gonna sink these in. You know, you can also use longer screws if you want to, just to give a little bit of extra strength, I guess. And I'm just gonna go ahead, get myself some screws, and I'm gonna sink these bad boys in. Perfect. As soon as you really feel it tighten, that's all you need. Make sure that's on the line. Yeah, that snugs right up. Nice and snug. But it's gonna get a bit wobbly over time. If you're sitting on this, it's just not gonna be sturdy enough, okay? To fill these holes, I'm gonna put some dowels in there. I'll show you how to do that after. But for now, we need to turn these guys into some supports. You could actually probably put like a piece right across if you wanted to. You could put it this way, you could put it this way, but I'm gonna get a little fancy and I'm going to be putting them on an angle, okay? So, what I'm gonna do is find the center of this 40 inch, which is gonna be 20. Stay on there, buddy. Okay? Just to give myself a little rough guide. And I'm gonna say, do I want this to come down center? So like, I'm gonna say like 9. That's probably a good point. Gives ourselves a little bit of a guide to go off of. So if I bring this to the center here, okay, and I bring this to the center here, like this, and then I take my pencil. I wonder, maybe this needs to come down a bit lower. No, yes, yes, no. I'm gonna put it on this side of the line, guys. I just feel like it looks better. Okay, so if you come over here, you'll see I have this coming to the bottom of the line. So it's meeting at the bottom of the line, and up here, it's meeting at the top of the line. If you come to the other side, you'll be able to see easier. It's meeting at the top of the line right here. Okay, so I'm gonna take my pencil and I'm just gonna mark it out underneath. Same over here, give it a good old mark, okay? And now we know what our angles are, okay? So I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. There was a period when, you know, we had to be cutting angles. So you can use an angle finder if you want. I normally just kind of play. Now this should be the same cut, but it's on a different angle. So we're gonna do that after, okay? And then this guy over here. Like, this is a pretty deep angle. It might even be more than a 45. Yeah, it definitely is. So in case like that, I keep it on 0. Okay? And I normally cut it like this, but I'm wondering if that's gonna give me a hard time. This is a long ass piece. Kids, do not try this at home. suggest that you just do a center rail, measure it in between these two bad boys, and just center it, screw it in from the sides, okay? Put some dowels in there, you'll see how to do that in a second. Now, let's see if this worked. Oh, wrong way. Yeah, I mean, it could be better, it could be worse, so we're gonna go with it. We're gonna get her done, okay? So, I don't even know if I have it on the right sides, but I mean, it's pretty close, so let's see. Marking them would have been smart, I guess. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like that's better. Okay, so this side. So let's figure out again. I'm gonna flip this upside down to do this part, guys. Kind of stop each other, which is great. And I can pull them back after. So I just want to get them centered. Again, you can eyeball this, you can measure it, whatever you're more comfortable with. I'm going to eyeball it, and then I'm going to go ahead and drill. Take some 2-inch screws again, and then just go in. Snugs on in. That's kind of pushing that out a little bit, which I'm not a huge fan of, but and then okay. Stop sliding. This like pushes this one out a bit, like out of square. And I really don't know if it's gonna, part of me wants to adjust this one a little bit. Okay, so definitely not pushing that out anymore, which is great. And then when we pull that in. Okay. So now, there we go. Actually, I'm wondering if that should also be shaved off just slightly. There's a pencil. Okay. One more time for the folks in the back. On a bit of an angle so you can start, but then you're gonna make a pocket hole so that you're going into the angled piece. Okay, same here. Crap all over it, so I wouldn't use this as an example to make sure it's level. However, you can always trim the legs if it's not sitting level in one of your areas. Nobody's homes are really level, to be honest with you, so it might sit perfectly well even in a store if you buy it somewhere and then you get it home and it's not sitting level in one space, you move it to another place and it's perfectly fine, it's not wobbly. You can also use felt pads, leg levelers. There's many different things that you can use to kind of level out these legs. But you are working with just like a narrow, really wide piece. It could even be that there's a cupping in the wood. But now we're gonna go ahead and put some dowels in our holes. Here, you can also use wood filler. It's just wood filler never really stains properly and you gotta really wait for it to dry. An extra hole over here, which is why I have 3. Okay. Bless me. So now I have this beautiful, it's a back saw, it's a reversible back saw. It's great because if you're, left-handed, right-handed, you can kind of work it out. You want to make sure that you always have your hand behind this saw, and you're just going to go ahead flat. You can even hold this little dowel if you want to, if it's a little bit wobbly. This is a nibbler. If you have one of these, use this. If you don't, you're gonna have to use the saw. Okay, so all is well in the land of bench making. And now we're gonna go ahead and we're going to give it a finishing sand. While I get my mask on again. Okay guys, so we have a completed bench. So now I'm just gonna go ahead, dust this little beauty off, give her a little bit of a wipe down, get this dust out of here. And I'm gonna put up a poll to see what you guys want to see her finished in. And then I will post a video probably tomorrow, because it'll just be like a quick 24-hour poll showing you how to finish it. I guess, even though you probably already know how to finish it, but we'll figure it out and we'll do it together, okay? So thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'm also gonna be choosing 2 more projects that I will be putting another poll up for the project that we will be building next week, okay? Everybody stay safe, and happy building.